We here on the HasanAbi broadcast, you know what we do? We carry the flame. Okay? That's what we do. Because we here at the HasanAbi broadcast understand that he stood unshaken. He was a voice in the storm. He was a man of conviction. A heart reborn. He spoke the truth. When the cost was high. And he lived for Jesus. Unafraid to die. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. All right, but yeah, this is the big article. David was 14 when he placed his first bet with a crypto casino, a website where people use cryptocurrency to gamble on online games. Stuck at home during the pandemic, he started spending more time on the sites. He watched as celebrities like Drake and the live streamer Aiden Ross played on the casinos too. Social media personalities collected huge paydays for streaming more and more videos hyping up the sites. David, meanwhile, developed a gambling addiction before he turned 18 and lost thousands of dollars. David and many people like him, young and chronically online, have been enticed by crypto casinos, an expanding realm of online gambling where long-standing guardrails are often ignored. The sites have spread across social media, taking advantage of the borderless nature of the internet. They offer hundreds of games, including blackjack, sports betting, and flashy online slot machines. They operate with fewer restrictions for gamblers by obtaining licenses in small island nations. And although they are not legal in many countries, including the United States, the casinos have become gambling havens where teenagers and problem gamblers play and even earn income by promoting the sites, a New York Times investigation has found. This flourishing industry has been built by operators willing to deploy an exploitative marketing system. The Times found that their strategies encourage reckless wagers, turn social media influencers into casino recruiters, and lure in young people, one of the demographics most vulnerable to addiction. One 20-year-old said he was first hooked on the sites in high school, placing wagers with friends after baseball practice. Another gambler said he took thousands of dollars from his parents and spent it on crypto casinos. David, who asked to be identified by his middle name to protect his privacy, said he emptied out more than $12,000 in childhood savings when he turned 18 this year and converted it into cryptocurrency on a website. He bet it all, doubled it, and then lost it all. He later took out and gambled away $4,000 in personal loans without his parents knowing, trying to earn it back. I lost sight of what money actually is, said David, who graduated from high school in May. Online gambling, particularly sports betting, has spread across the country over the last several years as more states have legalized it. Crypto casinos operate outside of these structures by functioning as offshore entities and by allowing gamblers to use cryptocurrencies to traditional financial systems. The speed at which crypto casinos are moving and the loopholes they are identifying and seizing on have left lawmakers and regulators struggling to keep up. Many sites do not have strong identity verification and are able to advertise on social media with little oversight. The other side of the story is it's infinitely harder to actually take out the money, whether you actually end up getting, even if you end up actually winning. It's also much more difficult to take out that money. It's super easy to sign up and super easy to gamble and super easy to lose real money. It's much more difficult to actually take out that real money, for the record. 8 years ago, crypto casinos were obscure websites. Now they are a multi-billion-dollar industry with dozens of operators. The success of Stake and Roobet, two of the largest casinos, has enabled them to sign partnership deals with UFC, Premier League soccer teams, and celebrity rappers like Drake and Snoop Dogg. To help drive this growth, Stake and Roobet and all other sites like Shuffle and BC.game have built an army of live streamers who broadcast themselves gambling for hours a day. The streamers create online communities centered on the casinos, and they offer giveaways to dedicated followers. All the while, crypto casinos incentivize content creators to bring in more customers through affiliate programs, which pay a commission on wagers placed by gamblers they recruit. Now, the interesting thing about Stake is that Stake couldn't actually directly sponsor a Formula One team, but Kick is technically a separate entity, even though it's not, right? Kick is a money sink. But because Stake is a money printing operation that is almost entirely controlled by like 3 people or something, all of which are like multi-billionaires at this point, they can use Kick. They can basically burn billions of dollars on Kick because they're generating billions and billions of dollars of revenue. So Stake is the actual crypto casino, but Kick is the front-facing operation of said crypto casino that has like 1 degree of separation from Stake. And therefore, if European regulators say, hey, you're an online crypto casino, you can't sponsor this Formula One team, well, Kick certainly can. You understand? Popular gambling streamers flaunt their extravagant lifestyles while their fans wager more, vying to be the next gambling influencer. Their content thrives in the manosphere, the male-centric online community where prominent voices talk about getting rich quick and skipping the traditional route to a 9-to-5 employment. As these sites grew larger, they paid online celebrities multi-million dollars to promote the casinos. In August, Drake and the famous live streamers Aiden Ross, XC and Trainwreck gambled together on Stake for a live audience. I've dreamed of this night. All my guys in one spot, Drake said, before the group streamed themselves gambling together for 3 hours. Drake, whose full name is Aubrey Drake Graham, declined to comment on this article through a representative. Mr. Ross, as well as XC and Trainwrecks, whose real names are Felix Lengyel, Tyler Nicknam, did not respond to a request for comment. A spokesman for Snoop Dogg, we already covered that part. To understand how these sites built an online marketing machine, the Times analyzed hundreds of videos produced by gambling streamers, sifted through thousands of messages in online chat rooms, obtained private messages sent by casino representatives, and reviewed cryptocurrency data from gamblers and the casinos. The Times also spoke to more than 24 people who worked in the crypto casino world, including affiliate streamers, marketing managers, and casino employees. Some said it was an open secret that the marketing practices could encourage gambling addictions and entice underage gamblers. Thousands of people have produced videos of themselves gambling on crypto casinos. In August, viewers of the top 100% gambling streamers watched 12 million hours of their videos, according to data from the analytics website Streams Charts. Labeling the YouTube streamers in partnership with Stake, but not the Kick streamers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is Stream Charts, I guess. Top streaming analytics site Streams Charts has begun attaching in partnership with Stakes to unaffiliated streamers in their 2025 recap. Ludwig, Valkyrie, iShowSpeed, and several others appear on the site, labeled in partnership alongside the illegal online casino. That is fucking insane. Illegal online casino when Stake in 2025 is one of the most regulated gamba brands. Like, how do you find yourself fighting for... Like, you are the Japanese soldier who kept fighting 29 years after World War II, okay? Like, how are you finding yourself at any point in time advocating for the interests of a unregulated crypto gambling casino on the internet, dude? It blows my fucking mind that there are people like this out there. Like, you are less than a human at that point. I mean, which this person might literally be a bot regardless, but like this is crazier than people who lose their minds at the fact that like a major multi-billion-dollar corporation might actually have a lower profit margin if workers decide to unionize or something. You know what I mean? This is even more insane. Like, you have no, like, what is the brand loyalty that you're demonstrating towards a cryptocurrency casino on the internet? It makes no sense. But before we do that, and yes, I know that the United States seized the Venezuelan oil tanker. I don't know why people keep coming in here to tell me that the United States seized an oil tanker. I know. I promise you I know. But before we do that, we're going to talk about Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, who went on Fox News for the 3rd time in the last 24 hours, this time on Outnumbered, to push back on conspiracies, evil conspiracies about the husband's death. Let's take a look.
With Erika Kirk sharing her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss.
Yes, this is literally the 3rd time she's been on Fox News in the last 24 hours. She did it twice yesterday to promote Charlie Kirk's new book that's coming out. And then today she's talking directly about the conspiracies. Now, you guys already know that a lot of these conspiracies are coming from one woman and one woman only. Her name is Candace Owens. We are the clandestine operations, the clandestine operators for Candace Owens. As you guys know, she has gained tremendous prominence, especially in the aftermath. First, after getting fired from the Daily Wire for not only being anti-Semitic, but also anti-Israel. And then her prominence exploded in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination because there was a lot of appetite from the administration to come out in unison and blame Democrats, liberals for Charlie Kirk's assassination. And she just came in with a grenade and exploded that, okay? And said, nah, it's actually Israel that did this. And a lot of people listened. Seemingly, there was a robust appetite for that kind of commentary. Okay? Yes, we are clan members of the Candace clan. Would you debate Candace Owens given her current popularity? Certainly, but I don't think she would be down to do it. I don't think she'd be down to do it. Candace Owens has blocked me for like the last decade almost, okay? Not the last decade, but close to it. Like, I think I've been blocked by Candace Owens for like the last 7 years, something like that. Would you say to get blocked? I don't remember. I do not remember, but it's been such a long time that I don't even remember. Anyway, let's continue.
Her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erika, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a...
It's not working, man. You're trying to farm this, but it's not working. You can't. I feel like we're too ruthless and we're too mean. You know what I mean? Like we're too ruthless and we are too mean to ever be sincere about this shit. Like I don't think anybody cares about like a grieving widow, you know?
Battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing?
It just comes across as like kind of phony. Like I don't know. I just am I crazy for this? It's just anyway, let's see.
Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that, but this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying,
Not crazy she's bad at performance, even if she isn't phony, more of a behind-the-scenes talent than a face for a significant org. Yeah, it's funny because secular revolutionaries aren't even the ones who are contributing to the conspiracies. If I am a secular revolutionary, okay, well, I guess maybe they would call me like an Islamist revolutionary, but regardless, I am not the one who's leading the charge here. I can only watch from afar and go, oh my God, how the fuck did we get here? As a matter of fact, if I or people like myself were the first people to come out and be like, Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Israel, I feel like the right probably would have collectively said, fuck no. It was the fact that it was Candace Owens that did this. That is the reason. We on the HasanAbi broadcast, we here on the HasanAbi broadcast, you know what we do? We carry the flame. Okay? That's what we do. Because we here at the HasanAbi broadcast understand that he stood unshaken. He was a voice in the storm. He was a man of conviction. A heart reborn. He spoke the truth. When the cost was high. And he lived for Jesus. Unafraid to die. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage our own. Together unbroken, we'll make heaven known. That's right. That's right. You already know it. That's right. Because he was a husband and a father. His family held near. A home built on scripture. On faith without fear. The world tried to silence him, but his voice remains. In us, it echoes, and in Christ it sustains, ladies and gentlemen. Why, you might ask? Because we are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage our own. Together unbroken. Heaven known. Yeah. That's right. We rise with the Spirit and we answer the call. The truth is eternal. And the cross is our guide. With God as our captain, we march side by side. Okay. Why are people subscribing? I don't know. HasanAbi Jr., thank you for the 10 gifted subs. And Eclectic Llama 2, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. It seems like a lot of people liked my my little song there. Thank you. You should be indicted by the ICC for that. Candace Owens' waiting room has surpassed my real audience right now, my live audience right now, with 44,000 people waiting moments prior to her live broadcast. Oh my God. I mean, it's getting undeniable now, right? She's really taken over the Charlie void and some. She's taken over the Charlie void because of her closeness to Charlie Kirk, but also simultaneously moving them further and further into the reactionary, conspiratorial. Nick Fuentes had 60K after peers. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. It's on Rumble. That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, you guys. Now, I wasn't sure about Erika. I was waiting, kind of a situation for her to be in, obviously, having lost her husband, becoming the CEO and the chairman of a company. It's just a lot of transition, and it's nice to wait for more information before you prejudge or just assume, make an assumption about somebody, and it maybe is not based in reality. Well, we are getting a lot more of Erika Kirk this week. I'll tell you that, because she has been doing the rounds in the media really over the last couple of weeks. And she just gave an interview live with Harris Faulkner on Fox News, where she finally addressed the quote unquote conspiracy theories. And I have to say this because 51K. It's true, but it completely missed the mark for me. I am sorry. It just has. But the good news is that she is now unmurkying the water in terms of her intentions with this massive political organization. That's good news, truly, because we knew Charlie, and now we are getting an opportunity to know Erika. Plus, later on in the show, it's Knives Out for Tucker Carlson. As always, he's trending right now because he has officially waded into the Who Killed Charlie Kirk narrative. And since he is not a bought and paid for Fed, he is
are they all Egyptian?
With not just the American people worldwide. And he says that he's not buying the official narrative. And there are some lingering questions. and he confirms what I told you about the Egyptian planes. So let's jump right back into this. Welcome back to Candace. Look, I have been very patient. I do tend to focus on the evidence that's in front of us, obviously asking questions when we come up across something that someone has said and it doesn't add up, or if they lied, create a list. And you guys were coming after me because I was saying, look, we can write into our imaginations how Erika is thinking or how she's feeling or what she should be wearing, but she hasn't actually said anything yet. Right?
She's
That was my stance. She hasn't actually said anything yet.
She's an amateur. She doesn't have a personal news segment.
A chance, okay?
She cuts right
now
to it.
she is making the rounds in the press because Charlie's book, his posthumous book, is coming out about the Sabbath, and she's speaking about
watching her?
quote-unquote conspiracies as she sits down with a lot of these news anchors. So first and foremost, she's sitting down here with Harris Faulkner, and I just want to show you a couple of clips from this
She
sit
blasted
down,
off on Twitter and Instagram. She does the same thing that I do.
And she begins by addressing the question, which has been in the air, regarding where Charlie Kirk is buried. That question resurfaced this week in a big way because Milo Yiannopoulos and a few others have asserted with absolute certainty that Charlie has not yet been buried. That's what they're saying. They say they have proof of that. And at first, Harris Faulkner is asking about that claim. Take a listen.
Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing, this is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that, but this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
Levon affair. They just write
so
like
on its
random
face, I actually
unrelated
agree
Israel shit.
with that. I think that when people are being buried and where they're being buried and how their funerals are done, that is very private matter. Okay, so objectively, I agree with what she's saying. Okay, but subjectively, because we are dealing with the subject of Erika Kirk and what transpired immediately following Charlie's assassination, this is going to be read as Meghan Markle syndrome, okay? Meghan Markle syndrome, where you want privacy when you want it, but you want publicity whenever you want it, and that just doesn't work.
Tying it back to popular resentments that people have?
I honestly think it was said best by Bethany Frankel, not related to the situation. Bethany Frankel was on Real Housewives, a real a show, a reality show. Even if it turned out,
it's boring. You have more integrity than dealing with anti-Semites. We know she's scum of the earth. First of all, check out these thighs. I think you need to recognize that we will be dealing with anti-Semites a lot more frequently in American politics because the most popular motion right now is heading in that direction on the American right. You are currently staring down the barrel of the future of the right-wing movement. Okay? 100%. If you're thinking like, oh, well, these guys are anti-Semitic, why are you dealing with them? Literally wake up to the reality that the entirety of the right-wing movement is going to be geared around these kinds of conspiracies. No matter how dumb, no matter how stupid, this is what they're going to fucking say and do. Yeah, I know. This is so funny. We live in an era where they're trying to normalize Islamism, Nazism, and communism. Reject it. And of course, E.L. Jacoby, the #1 Israel Nazi, posted that, and then Carl Shaw posted, "We want to kill black people. I'd like to have nice infrastructure like China has. You're both equally bad. Liberalism needs to die." This guy isn't a liberal, for the record. This guy is a one-issue person. Liberal people in TikTok comments are praising her as if she's a Wendy Williams with all the tea just because she's coming up with conspiracies for everything. I'm afraid they don't know much of her. Shaking my head. I don't think they know much of her. I think she has the same like exact clipping structure that Nick Fuentes has. It's the clip culture. Once again, all of the clipper accounts that are up my asshole with regular frequency, consistently clipping everything that I say out of context in an effort to fucking trash whatever point of view that I have, to constantly present me as a villain, have been noticeably absent from any Candace Owens coverage, despite the fact that Candace Owens is infinitely more popular than I am. Same with Nick Fuentes. So when you don't have those, when you don't have that level of fucking haters consistently trying to warn everyone about you, then you got a person who talks about Yahweh, a servant of Yahweh
has that
like
security
this.
footage.
An hour stream, 40 minutes of ads. Yeah, half of it is ads. It is pretty crazy. 180,000 peak. You could learn from a woman like Candace. No, I don't think it's botting. I think it's real. I thought it was botting. I don't think it's botting anymore. Because that shit jumped up organically. Like it didn't just like go from 1,000 people waiting to like 150K. It straight up went from, first it was like 20K, 30K, 40K in the waiting room, 50K when she starts, and then 50K, 60K, 70K, 80K. We watched it happen. And it peaked at 180K. The audience expansion was organic. There was no like noticeable big jumps. Why the fuck do so many people think what she's saying is interesting? Great question. I explained it already, but I think she already cultivated a massive fan base doing pop culture commentary and pop culture critique. And she was doing pop culture critique while also still doing like right-wing commentary, or even doing like right-wing framing on pop culture critique. Having said that, however, she bakes all of that stuff into this. This is obviously like a very, this is a very big story, and there's a lot of attention on it. There's a lot of interest in it. There's also the official. There's also a lot more suspicion on official narratives nowadays than ever before. So she is farming the shit out of people who want answers. And she also has a very good approach to covering it, where she'll basically cover this shit like it's a true crime story for the conspiracy girlies, baking in a bunch of pop culture references, associating her enemies in this story with common tropes and common enemies that people know from the pop culture stories that she's covered. And she makes it very palatable, very easy to consume, while also simultaneously like leaving little breadcrumbs every now and then. So it's almost like a universal investigation that everyone is engaging in, not dissimilar to the initial interest in QAnon. QAnon was interesting because a lot of bored people they felt like they were playing a role in this. They felt like they were playing a role in this investigation. And that's what Candace Owens is doing as well, with the tip line and all this shit. That's the reason why she is the most successful right-wing commentary person, just the most successful political commentator in the country right now. Anyway, this is Nick Fuentes' take on Candace Owens.
I saw on her Instagram today, Candace Owens did a multi-part story. She said, "Oh my gosh, you're never going to believe it. I just found something that changes everything. I got a new tip. God gave it to me, and it's brand new, and this is the evidence I needed. It's the final piece of the puzzle." Anybody watch the show? Did she get it? Is that the final piece? Did she prove it's a U.S., France, Israel conspiracy yet? Did she get the final piece of the puzzle? I didn't catch it. I saw the clips, and I saw a couple of tweets summarizing it. So I guess some guy from like the 80s was in Mexico and saw some other guy that had the same name as a guy at Turning Point. And that proves that Brigitte Macron is a guy or something. I don't know. I didn't see it. When will it end? Blake Neff, if you can hear us, please save us. Tyler Boyer, please. Erika Kirk, can you finish this bitch off?
Yeah, he's fucking sauceless. He's motionless. He's sauceless, and he's mad that the Candace conspiracies that tie this back to Israel are much more captivating to his audience, and it's pissing him off. This is coming from a place of jealousy. Me, on the other hand, I'm coming at it from a place of admiration. Let's be real.
Figuratively, in the battle of ideas. Honestly, I was very
No motion, outmeted by Candace.
critical of Erika Kirk. Now, it's like,
Why doesn't he lean into it? That's also part of the grift. Partially because I assume he thinks it's too far-fetched and too stupid, but also partially because he wants normalcy and legitimacy. He wants to be normalized by more... he's constantly in a battle. On the one hand, he wants to be as edgy as possible and like say Nazi shit. But on the other hand, he also recognizes that like there is a void in the space for someone who is crafty, someone who is clever, and someone who can be somewhat charismatic as like a major conservative commentary person. So in order to do this, like he's trying to win favor from more establishment conservatives about this, like, you know, by presenting himself as an antidote to Candace Owens' like crazy conspiracy theories. He lacks all these qualities, though. No, I would say Nick Fuentes is I think, is more telegenic than the average conservative commentary person. Like that's not far-fetched. The reason why I say that is because like the average conservative commentary person is just awful. Like think about it. Think about where he's coming from versus like Tim Pool. Donald Trump commanded the theft of an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. I believe America has done this before as well. Let's take a look.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an interesting day from the standpoint of news. As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. And other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later with some other people.
Chuck Schumer won't say if he opposes regime change in Venezuela. Oh my fucking God. This is who we got. This is who we fucking got, dude.
Disagree with President Trump's ultimate goal of regime change?
This is the guy leading the charge against Donald Trump, dude. Fuck me.
In Venezuela?
Look, the bottom line is President Trump throws out so many different things in so many different ways. You don't even know what the heck he's talking about. You know, obviously, if Maduro would just flee on his own, everyone would like that. But we don't know what the heck he's up to when he...
Hello? What? Obviously, if Maduro would just flee... What are you talking about, brother? That's the... Ugh.
talks about that. So it's very, very, you cannot say, I endorse this, I endorse that, when Trump is all over the lot, not very specific, and very worrisome at how far he might escalate.
Do you disagree?
Careful, last time you watched a video like this, you got accused of being a terrorist propagandist. Yeah. Remember when we watched the Ansar Allah movement take over a fucking tanker? Yeah, they were doing that to implement a blockade against the state of Israel that was at the time committing a genocide. America's doing this because they can, and that's it. Because they want to do their very own, they want to do their own potential genocide in Venezuela. Fantastic. The Ansar Allah movement did this off the coastline of Yemen. America's doing this off the coastline of Venezuela, a different country, a sovereign nation. Oh, but of course, I watch one and say they're doing right, I'm a terrorist. I watch this and I say this is fucked up, I'm a terrorist again.
What happened? I mean, I know exactly what happened. It got it started a little bit, but we'll see if we can put it out.
We're interested in the seizure of this tanker. Well, what happens to the oil on this ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You know, you're a good newsman. Just follow the tanker.
Do you know where it was going? Was it going
Follow
to
it.
China?
Get a helicopter and follow the tanker.
Is it true it's going to
But we're
Cuba?
gonna. I assume we're gonna keep the oil. It's unfortunate what happened.
I am universally pro seizing ships, no matter who's doing it. We need to bring back old school pirates. Trump looks like shit, talks like shit, is talking shit. Today, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Homeland Security Investigations, and the United States Coast Guard, with support from the Department of War, executed a seizure warrant for a crude oil tanker used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. For multiple years, the oil tanker has been sanctioned by the United States due to his involvement in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. I love that. It's just it's illegal for other countries that we don't want to do trade with one another to actually end up doing trade with one another. So we're just going to steal it. This seizure, completed off the coast of Venezuela, was conducted safely and securely, and our investigation alongside the Department of Homeland Security to prevent the transport of sanctioned oil continues. Yeah, try this with Russia, man. Come on, get bold. Yeah, this is the this was a 20-year-old oil tanker called the Skipper. I believe it was sanctioned years prior to this actual incident. The seizure was initially announced by President Trump. Operation to seize the tanker began at 6 a.m. Yeah, tanker was sanctioned by the Treasury 3 years ago. Isn't that awesome? We could just like decide. That we can just decide that, you know, you're not allowed to engage in any trade whatsoever. Two countries that we decided are bad are engaging in trade with one another. Nope, not allowed. It's all might makes right. Law of the jungle. For the record, for the Treasury to sanction something like this requires pretty much nothing, okay? That's why the sanctions process controlled by the Treasury is unfortunately one of the most used and abused tools that we have in our arsenal. And if you're wondering how the cable news is reporting the U.S. seizure of a Venezuelan oil tanker, here's CNN saying this is absolutely normal.
Seeing a tanker, how could this escalate the conflict with Venezuela?
Well, you know, we've had sanctions on Venezuelan oil since the first Trump administration. And
Biden kept them.
Kept them.
Yeah.
So to me, this is absolutely normal. I mean,
Seizing an oil tanker?
yeah. We've been seizing Iranian oil tankers in the past. We also...
Are you seriously excusing Venezuela filling an oil tanker with fent and shipping it to America? That could kill every cop in America 200 times over. Yeah, that would have been like even a better lie to tell if they were like, this is not really an oil tanker, there's fentanyl in it or something. Nope, they were just like, no, it has oil and it's going to Iran and we don't like that. It's our oil now. Yeah. They could have tried and at least lied and said like it's filled to the brim with fentanyl, you know? Nope. Why would they need to even do that when this is what is coming from liberal news?